All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the last session of Amplifying F# before the summer break. We will do something more relaxed than last week, hopefully, because it was quite a little bit painful to tackle all the battles with MS build last week, and yeah, let's have something more smooth for the last edition before we go into the break. But before that, let's have a little bit of a view back on what we did so far. I will share my screen for this. Okay. All right, you should be able to see my browser now. Yeah. Yeah, we had like over 20 sessions. Started back in March. With the very first one of Edgar, and yeah, dived directly into the compiler. Made our way through the whole ecosystem, libraries, compiler stuff, showcases of theoretical ideas, and we had live workshops, live sessions, even with some great people in the crowd. And yeah, now today we will tackle this session here. No, that was last one. Sorry. Yeah, let's talk about what happened since last week. This PR from Patrick, Smog 123, got merged. He worked a little bit during the session. And yeah, we are happy we could help with this one. As far as I know, there's no outcome of the last session yet, but yeah, get in touch with us if there has something happened. Okay, today's session will be about FsHttp. It's a library to make HTTP requests. We have the author Ronald here in the audience, luckily, and yeah, we will work on an issue a user raised some months ago, or yeah, nearly a year ago, about our support for multipart requests, and the user Lysium Frost. He had the use case of interacting with the Telegram API, and his issue was that the API wants to have not just a field name for uploads, but also a file name. You can see an example what this looks like down here. But so far, the generic request technique of HTTP in FsHttp only supports the field name, not the file name. So we want to add this feature today without breaking functionality for existing users, existing use cases. So yeah, let's get into it. So I prepared this little script, so you can see that's like today's situation. We can say we do a multipart request. We have a part of byte array content, but we can only give the field name for the byte array content, not the file name. And yeah, like the user told us in the issue, he needs that functionality for the interaction with the Telegram API. Okay, so I'm sure you already know about this, but these words, these computational expression actions are defined as attributes, like the string, the name are defined as attributes to methods of a builder. So if we go into the builder, I think that's here. Okay, you can see here it's this part, custom operation. We need to extend to support the file name. So as builders are .NET classes, we can do something like overwriting, overloading stuff, but we can also do an F# thingy, which is called optional parameters, which start with a question mark. And if you have defined such a parameter, it's later on used as an option type. So we now, of course, have to pass this optional parameter along. So you can see here, this is the implementation of part. So we just pass it along, and now the compiler will most likely just guide us through all the places which we need to adjust. So let's go to the implementation multipart part.
David?
Yep.
I guess it should, so the file name should not be the last parameter, but the second last parameter, because the last one is always used for piping in the other style.
Oh yeah, sorry. Correct. Thanks.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah. That would have taken me some time to get back to. All right. Yeah, let's add this part here. And yeah, it's a string option by the magic of the compiler. And now you can see that the parameters which we pass along here to part are included in this how is it called, anonymous record. And yeah, let's just add it here as well. And now, of course, other errors will arise. So we can have a look where context with content is used. Multipart content. No, this is not what I want. Content data. Okay. So we have to adjust this one as well to have the same shape. Okay, that's the domain. And yeah, of course, now there was some errors in other callers of the part function, which we need to adjust. We have some, besides the part function, we also have some convenience function, if you want to call it that, like string part, file part with name and stuff. And we can extend those as well, but for the time being, to make little steps first, I will just pass in none, to make some progress to the first compiled test. All right, this looks good. Now, if we compile this already, I think we should at least be able to use the new optional parameter. There's something missing. Oh yeah, the C# part. Yeah, we will also support it here. Okay. And now the old style of not having the file name should still be supported. I'll try to execute it. And you can see here, because Ronald added a very nice print infrastructure to FSI, that we have just the field name given. And if we doing it like this now, you can see it executes. There's no error in the compilation and the running of the script, but of course the field name is just the only thing that is passed along, because we haven't changed really the implementation of the request. So that would be our new next step, so that we really see here in the header also the field name, the file name. All right, so let's go to the implementation of the request. And if you are a little bit familiar with the code base, you know that yeah, we have to extend the code here in to request and message. There's a part called .NET content, which builds up the requests and the content. So right now we are supporting this stuff, as you know, for the multipart contents. The real beef of the implementation is here in build.NET content. And you can see here for file content that we are setting here the dispo header. You could see here in the example from the issue. So what do we need to do to support this in the case of byte array content? So first of all, this dispo header thing is currently only set for file content, and we want to support it for byte array content as well. So let's factor it out so we can easily set it for byte array content later on as well. I will just call it at dispo header, and yeah, we pass along the HTTP content. And there will be some other parameters the compiler will just tell us which ones we need to pass. And yeah, the idea would be to have this stuff factored out, so we can use it for other content types as well. And as you can see here, it's already done for certain contents. You can see here the file name, which we are after. So let's pass in an optional name. And the optional file name we added to the DSL. All right, and as this is now optional, we need to take care of this. And we only set it here if it's given. Okay. And we HTTP content. Okay, let's call it content. Okay. So now that we have factored out this code, we can reuse it here. We'll just comment it out for the time being and call it dispo header for the content with the stream content we read in. We have the.
Looks like you just need to cast it.
Yeah.
As it is in line 58. I think you have.
Thanks.
Do you actually have to cast it? Oh no, you don't have to cast that one. Sorry, you need to actually add those other get those other parameters and then cast it.
Yeah.
But we can put the file. We put the V or whatever the path is, and then none or whatever for the moment, right?
Some pass and let's just use name. It's in string option. Yeah. And the file name. Yep. What's no?
Oh, we probably haven't passed file name in anywhere yet.
Oh yeah. Build.NET content. Wait a second. Oh yeah. Up here. Okay, so it's now a matter of adjusting the other stuff. Build.NET content. It's another none now. And yeah, down here. No, here. We can now give the file name. And
David?
Yep.
Maybe just one comment.
Mm-hmm.
Because file name is part of the part, but it should not be. So maybe we should move the file name to the actual content parts that support the file name, and not as a general member of all content parts. Maybe we can do that later, but so the domain is less restrictive than the API will be in the end. So because we only want to allow the API to expose a file name for file content and byte array content, for example.
Yeah.
But the API says something else. So the API, the domain, the model says you can pass a file name to every part. I mean, we can leave it as it is for now, but I think there is some dissonance between what the domain says and what will be possible from the API point of view later.
Yeah. Let's get it working and make it nice afterwards. All right. So now that we have, so this is like just a refactoring mostly for file content. Just to make sure that we haven't broken anything, I would like to run the tests. Yep. Okay, 2 failed.
Can you go to the tests maybe, multipart? I want to see what did he expect. Maybe the tests are not well written in that case, so maybe they still should work, but they break. We have to see. Let's see the string empty. Okay.
Let's see if I did something wrong.
To request, yeah.
So we set the file name. Okay, in the we set the path here in the, and now we are, okay, I think this is the difference.
Maybe you don't need these parameters anyway in @dispo header because you can close over and you have them just just right up front, and you have file name you have in line 18, and that should be the file name from line 20 and not some path, you know. So you pass in line 47.
Yeah.
When you call @dispo header, you pass the name and the path, but that's not necessarily the file name. But in line 18, you get already name and file name in. So you could just omit them in line 20, and you don't need to.
Yeah.
And also you're probably passing the wrong value because it's not necessarily the path in line 47. This is probably a mistake.
I think it was done this way in the past, and that's why the test failed. But it's more clean to do it like you just described here. You see, the tests now passed all of them. So I think in the past, like in the current code, path was really used as the file name. Like you can see here in the commented code.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But yeah, we should change that. Yeah. At least.
Yeah, maybe we should default to path, but I mean, you should use the file name that you. So if a file name is given, then that should be used. Huh?
Yeah. Let's do it like this. And I also think we should just get the file name from the path, like system IO path, get file name without extension. So the server doesn't learn anything about the path of the user, just for privacy reasons. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now maybe there will be a test we need to adjust. Let's see. I guess. Multipart. Let's see. No, still good. Okay, cool. All right. So now there's still so we backwards compatible now. We can get rid of the old code, but we still need to adjust byte array content. So for the use case that someone uses this part function with an byte array content inside of a multipart, I think we need to adjust this piece here to also support setting the dispo header if it is a multipart. So currently these decisions are made here based on content, if it's single or multi or empty. So this information needs to also be present, or it needs to be taken into account when building the .NET content. And as we have it like here, no, request content. Yeah, it's here. so we can make use of it. So it will always be this content here, but in case we have multipart contents, we set the dispo header to the content, and what was it, name and file name, and otherwise we just get multi. Okay, that can be omitted here. I think that's it. Let's rebuild and see if it's already enough.
Maybe just one comment. It's a very general comment. I usually I'm not such a big fan of so for example the add dispo header function. So it causes side effects in the past content and then outputs the content. So
Yeah,
I usually tend to just so if it causes side effects, so because it seems like you're just returning a new content with updated values, but it's not the case. So yeah, you really change the content, and I like it when I see that somehow. So I would just return unit in line 32, and yeah, so you have to understand. Okay, it's still that content that you're operating on, and
so you mean like this?
Yeah, like this. Maybe it's just a matter of taste.
No,
But
it's
when I see, okay, it has side effects, and it must have side effects because it doesn't return anything. So it must have side effects, otherwise it would be completely useless. Yeah.
no, it's a good design decision. Thanks.
And maybe below you have to adjust another.
Yeah. All right. Let's build it, and I hope that the script now shows what we want. So yeah, nice. So you can see that now the file name is part of the dispo header, which was the feature of the issue requested. So I think the hard part is over, and we can talk about maybe adding a test for this, and making the RP a little bit nicer. But let me first make a safety. All right. Okay. So I think multipart .fs is the right place to add a test for this one. Yeah, I will just copy and adjust post multipart byte array with optional file name. Okay, and can just copy this one from the script, use it here. And what should we get back? I think the file name would be a good idea to echo back, like our files. F file name sounds good. And yeah. So we echo back the joint string of all the file names we post to the server here. So yeah, as a quick test for the test, just like this, and yeah, I will go to the test directory. No, what is it called? Tests. Okay. Yeah, byte array should be okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, just to be sure that the test is working, I will adjust the stuff we anticipate from it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe we can improve the test with multiple parts, like file name 1. 2 and 3. Okay. By the way, content. Right. So let's test if it works for multiple parts. Nice. Okay. All right. So as another test that we haven't broken the API for existing users, can use a fourth part without the file name. And that should still work. And as the, I guess it's just empty then. Okay. All right. Ronald, you had an idea how to improve the domain modeling of file name support.
Yeah, so my idea was that we align it with what is currently possible from the API side. So from the API side, so it's only possible to specify a file name for the byte array content and for the file, for the byte array part and for the file part, I guess. But maybe it's not even possible. I mean, because we have these contents. Yeah, I mean, the parts more or less map directly to these contents. Yeah, so we have the byte array part, and it maps to the byte array content, and we have the file part, and it maps to the file content. And we could remove the file name field from the content data and put it in either put it in both byte array content and file content. So that would align the statements we make about what is possible and what is not possible.
You mean like this?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, either an anonymous record or a maybe a named. I mean, we can also name the labels, the elements in the tuple, I guess, or we could also just have an anonymous record.
Let's try with the anonymous. We can see what's nicer afterwards. I think we should uppercase.
Yeah, and maybe there's a double point, not equals to, but we are specifying the types. Yeah, just exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I have records, I usually make them lowercase. So at least in this library, you can make exactly.
Okay. And file content will be like parse, I think.
Exactly.
And file name again, string option.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Okay, let's see what breaks.
I think you should.
Yeah. Byte array content is no, something like data equals this and file names none. Yeah. Okay. And I think we need to
In request, we should adopt the code now. Request it in the two requests. Yeah, in the two requests here, there should be some things. Yeah, maybe starting from line 40. I guess.
yeah, maybe it's for the deconstruction we need to do in a lot of places. Maybe a named tuple is better.
I wouldn't even do that. You could just use dot notation. So you say byte array content, and then you can just
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I usually almost never use record deconstruction. I don't know why. It's just
All right.
why could you why did you only use yeah, okay, but if you scroll up to the file content, I'm a little bit there is some, because you had 2 times path, but there must be file name. Because in line 54, I think this is not correct. So if you scroll up, it should not, so the file name should not come from above.
Yeah, we need to remove this.
Okay, but you would have come anyway to that conclusion because you don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, exactly. Now we get that in line 42.
So byte array content is
Yeah, content.
what
You have shadowed content, unfortunately.
Yeah. We might make it nice afterwards. All right. Okay. So the pass, this is like this now.
I think the last argument we do not have anymore, which is a good thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was the file name, but we removed that because we moved it inside. And
So this provider needs to get the file name, content, file name. This provider. Okay, it looks correct. And for the file content, we do this little dance here. And this little dance, so it also is okay. Yeah.
yeah, probably it is.
There's more to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but I'm not sure if that's correct. SprintF file.
It's an optional. No, what?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it was the path before, but it's
now the path. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
But we could.
You could say then path equals to something. I mean, it's only for printing. So I mean, it's really like very for debugging, because the HTTP header anyway is printed in another way. So you could just name the property path, which is the actual property we use, and not name, which is misleading in that way. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to say I really like what you did here for the FSI.
Yes, it is all born out of need. So I needed it, and I tried to implement the stuff that had some value for me. So, which is probably a good thing if you use your own stuff.
All right.
Yeah, that's my general open source pattern, is to have the stuff that I use pretty available. And maybe a couple of helper functions that I don't particularly use, but I think are useful. But then accept pull requests when people want extra stuff.
Yeah, I also think that, so when I think about, okay, why are other communities very strong, even if they do not have one big company behind them, or maybe they even seem to be stronger, it's maybe because people from communities, they do what they need. Yeah, and it's not like your boss tells you do that now. Yeah, and you design a library which maybe you don't even have a use case for, but the community, if people do it because out of their needs, then it might be a really good thing. So the outcome might be very, very good. It's just a these. What does it mean? Not a theory. The thing that's before a theory. I don't know if it's true, but maybe.
Theorem?
Maybe not so formal, but just a guess. I just guess it is like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remove that.
And now the file name part is also gone because it's now in the content data, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice. It's really nice. Okay.
But I also find it interesting how you started. So you started by looking at what the current API supports, and then you adapted the API, which is perfectly valid. I also do that in most cases. And then you switched to the internal representation. It could have also been vice versa.
Yeah, definitely.
And I would have probably also started with the API, but it's interesting. Okay, so how do we think? What's the library all about? So it's really the API that matters. So it's sometimes I look more on the representation that's important, and not at the API. I can't even tell you in which cases I do this or that. I don't know, but it just came to my mind. It was interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Shows that way. Yeah.
Wait a second. Part is adjusted already and has a name. is the last before the context.
The name should be still there. I think the name is missing now. So
Yeah,
not
so,
file. Huh? So maybe in line 340. There you have the name. It should go in, I guess. Or wait.
So name is option string.
What was it before?
Let's see what. None was it before? Okay.
Name.
That's we messed up something.
Jimmy, by the way, my autocomplete in Ionite doesn't work anymore since today. And there seems to be an issue. I have no autocompletion and anything. David, you still have it. I'm very happy for you.
Did you download a preview version of an SDK?
No, I don't think so. I mean, really, it started to stop today. But there is something like you cannot find system.array in any DLL. It's the output, but you don't know that issue. Okay, maybe I will.
Yeah, we'll cover that after, but yeah, that's a very common error, and it's mostly because you might have not had a restore recently.
Okay. Okay. No, very good.
I think we're seeing some type inference effects.
Yeah, maybe you could specify also. So I think if you go to the definition of the part, so in line 340. So because I think that's not. I mean, it compiles now, but it's not what it really wants. I mean, I haven't used any single case unions for these things, but so you see in line 340, you pass name to file name, and then you make it a string option, but that's not correct. So I think here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And also path is not the is not intended. Yeah, it's not its name. It should be name now. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Problem. Yeah, it's maybe in such
maybe
it's good to have type annotations anyway. But yeah.
Oh, it. I think it's pretty okay-ish now, but we still need to support the new stuff in the DSLs. So part isn't extended, but we want to extend file part and byte array part, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we do it like this. File name and pass it along. for the file part, and also for the byte array part, do the same. File name and file name. Okay, so we need to just these. Just to be on the safe side now.
Probably the not the last.
Yep. Okay, byte array and file part. Okay, and now we can I mean we could now give the file name instead of the yeah, but I think we should do the same dance here if it's given or not.
I think we could also incorporate a breaking change. So because we have a file part, we have file part with name, and this will get an optional file name also now. I think we should say, okay, no one is using that non-DSL part of the API, so we can incorporate a breaking change. We remove the file part, and we rename file part with name to just file part, and use optional parameters for file name and name.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, not too confusing now. Yeah.
So name would be a string option.
Yeah, and file name then too.
Excuse me.
We need the file name as a string option, as a function parameter.
Yeah.
But part is not taking that file name anymore. This is yeah.
What?
Maybe it's just a name. Yeah, a name or a default then.
What's wrong with context?
The name is missing. This is mandatory, and
okay. What? It's the first? No, the second to last.
I think it's name or a default file name.
Yeah.
So what you have in line 340. Yeah, exactly. Name option default.
Yeah, exactly this.
And what you have in line 346, the system IO get file name without it.
Yep.
That exactly. Maybe we can make a default with because Yeah, okay, it's not so expensive, but hopefully it doesn't throw if there is something, but I think it should not be possible. Yeah, I think you could leave it like that, but
like this, you mean, or?
Yeah. I thought about that. Maybe it's possible to pass in some invalid stuff, and it would throw even if it's not used. But I think it would have been okay the other way around as you had it.
Okay. Okay. 2 errors in DSL-CE.
And maybe we could also incorporate that breaking change here. I mean, I'm not really for these things, so I think it's a small library, and I always tell myself, okay, it's okay to have small breaking changes if they are documented. Anyway, I had a breaking change in a non-released version, and we could do the same here. So remove that. So that we only have one file part overload.
And yeah. So name should this file part.
So the file name is missing as an optional parameter. And maybe we should flip. I mean, this is maybe a little bit dangerous now for API users, because you would not
I mean, like this.
Yeah, like this. So the problem is name is mandatory now. You see, so name is also mandatory. So I would like to have it. Yeah. So it's not aligned now from the arguments with the non-DSL version. But the problem is if we switch name and path, which I would like to do, yeah, so that we can make name also optional. So because now it's mandatory, but we should make it optional. But that would be a breaking change that could be very dangerous, because it would not raise a compiler error, because we just switched to strings basically. Okay, but maybe for the PR you can just do it like that, and we think about, so maybe if you flip name and path, and you also do that in the non-DSL version, and you make it an optional parameter with question mark, and align the non-DSL part. But you see that the problem is now that this is really a breaking change that can be harmful, that can be very dangerous, because you do not get any compiler warnings or even an error, because they're just only strings, and you have no chance for catching those. But we can, I mean, let's do it like this, and maybe I have to think about, or we have to think about later what we can do about it. But at least this would be the outcome that I think is a nice one. Sorry, David. Just switch it back. Switch it back. Or just do it as you would like to do, and we'll think about later, because I think the problem is we cannot. Yeah, unfortunately, in the computation expressions, when you have custom operations, it's not possible to have name parameters, as far as I know. That would be really nice if we had them, but the problem is now that you have to. So, for example, you just cannot. So, in order, if you would like to specify a file name but not the name, you have to pass none as a name. Okay, this is not so bad. I think there are just some things we have to think about, but maybe just do that it compiles, and in a quiet moment, we should think about how we can design the API concerning to backwards compatibility and these named and positional things. Or Jimmy, do you know if it's possible to have custom operations with named? I mean, they do not support named parameters, I guess. Do you know it?
I don't know. That's something I don't do that often.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that they don't. So this is gone now, and we only have no, just file part, right?
Yeah.
And name and pass.
I think you adopted the wrong method. What you have in part with the name and file name, that should be no, that was okay. You removed that. But in part, the file name is not, you know, you should.
Yeah, this is old stuff.
This is old. Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay.
That wasn't adjusted to the new approach. But now if we only want to have file part and not file part with name anymore, we need to do something like this here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and file name also should be optional then.
Yeah, okay, we did parses at the third. Not so nice of.
I think we should really think about that, and it should be always aligned with each other. But this is a little bit problematic now, since we introduced these optional parameters, and they have some, how to say, they have some impact.
We could also take the first approach we did in the session here, because I think there was less danger of breaking code of people.
Yeah,
and
I'm not sure right now. As it was before, I did like it because it was a mix between overloads by name, so we had file part and file part with name, and then a mix with optional parameters. And this seems a little bit strange to me, because then at least we should have the file name optional parameter for both. But maybe this is something that I would like to think about, even if it seems to be trivial. I'm not sure what is a good solution.
Or we offered the file name for the string, and what was the other content type as well?
Pardon? What did you mean?
So we let me show you. So you could also say, okay, we not offer the file name just for file part and for byte array part, but also for stream part, string part, as an extreme position to your domain view, like the complete opposite. Just with the argument that we don't know what crazy web APIs are out there, and
yeah. Could also be a way to to say, okay, no matter what's your content source, you
can have a file name if you want to.
Yeah, exactly. Could also be a thing, but would probably not solve. Well, probably it would.
Because then the distinction between the different parts would go away if you take this view.
Yeah, I mean, which would luckily also solve this other API problem. But I mean, I think it's reasonable to say, hey, I want to specify a file name for any part of content, yeah, or for any content part. Yeah, that's reasonable. I think we can do that.
But yeah, we will discuss with some beers and.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Or did you commit your working? So
the first one I did commit.
Yeah, then maybe use that and revert revert these changes, so we can go for that. Would also be okay, I guess.
Yeah, I will just finish, and then we can cherry pick whatever we like. And yeah. 'I need to get the anonymous stuff right here. Data file name. Yeah. No. I'm confused.
What does he say? What's the error?
Yeah, it needs to be some.
What's byte array part? What's the signature of byte array part? Yeah.
Wasn't the yeah, it's called byte array part. Takes the context, name, value, file name, option.
You do not specify byte array content. That's done below the surface. So because before you just had part, then you have to specify the content, which is byte array content. But in that case, you should not specify the byte array content because byte array part. But it's valid to say byte array part. That's okay. Or you can even mix those two. But part is more a little bit, you can specify the content on your own. And byte array part is just a convenience method for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Part is probably not what is so common to use in that library. I think byte array part is exactly that because in any case, it's closed, so it's a set of, so it's closed set, yeah, and yeah.
So,
yeah. But you do not specify the content. This is done for you. So the byte array part is basically a convenience method for what you've written there.
okay.
Byte array part, you specify the
name.
Yeah.
And the
yeah, so which is you have already there. You have all these things already there.
Okay.
Remove the you just have to remove the construction of byte array content and use the values that you already have there. This is the idea. They are just convenience. They are just convenience for already existing yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need some holidays.
Yeah, we are already there, I guess.
Okay. But yeah, let's try now the tests we had. So the first one was now the name and then the array and the file name. So this thingy here needs to go here. And yeah, okay.
You have to yeah, exactly. Yeah. A string literal, huh? It was the field name. It was a string literal, but
oh yeah,
I'm also a little bit confused. What
I think it's like this.
Name, value, and file name.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but we really should think about the API design now, but because it really feels strange.
Yeah, exactly.
As you can see by my struggling here.
We're almost there.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, we should get back the same stuff. But
What was the error message? You probably have to pass 6 also the maybe not an empty string as file name, but maybe just omitted in lines. Yeah, exactly. That's the case.
Yeah. Too many edits here in the test. Okay. Yeah, okay. No, the file name wasn't set. So we have some issue in the request.
Yeah, I think we should really check the API and also the ordering of arguments, which I'm not sure of if they are all overall correct. Besides the way to think if it is sensible as we do it right now, but you get that. Where's that coming from? At this header, you have content file name. Okay, maybe you could start from the API in DSLCE, and then we just try to follow the data. So the file name is the last one, and you pass it to a byte array part as the third parameter. Okay, let's go there. File name. Yeah, okay, sounds looks good. And the part. No, I don't see any errors right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, strange. Go to request again. So we have that BA content.file name at disposition header. It's the third one. It's file name. An option name, file name. We'll go to the test and see.
Let's see what the script says. Okay.
Was it that? What was it? This test that we were looking at, by the way? Are we looking at the correct test? We had two tests, I guess. Oh, the failed test was the one we are looking right now in the source code. That's maybe it's a stupid question, but I.
File name 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think it was the correct test.
Okay, we have this one here. No, wait a second.
And the other one was working. Which tests we had? We had this.
I mean, I only executed this one test here, so I'm pretty sure it worked. It's the white one we are.
Okay.
But yeah, let's see. We are passing in the file name here, so it needs to go into the construction of the content. And it's here, so we construct the content here before calling part. So that seems to be correct. So let's see what the script says. Okay. That looks good. I think we have some issue with our test then.
Yeah, that's correct as it is there. Yeah.
Or maybe some rebuild issue.
Maybe try again. Yeah, because I cannot explain it.
I will just do all the tests. Nope.
If that's the case, can we go back to the test? Because I think here I just don't see anything. Maybe we really have to start from the other direction and that's okay. This is okay. You could do the following. So just to be sure, to not rely. No, I wouldn't do that. We could do.
But we seem to have some.
I would like to see really the .NET representation first of all, because this is the most reliable thing. So if you go to F# interactive again.
But we have a signature of option string here for file name.
Yeah.
And we are passing in a file name, a string, a optional string.
Huh?
So
yeah, I think this
works. This works because it's the compiler takes care of it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really a difference if you have an optional argument for a method. This is something different than having just an argument of type whatever option. So this is treated different by the compiler.
Yeah, should work.
Yeah. They really are really. But if you go back to F# interactive, and now you pipe pipe that request and say request dot you have no auto completion. Maybe you should rename the file to .fsx, because I'm not sure if
oh, this happened.
Is it .NET 7 really, or go to bin debug, because the tests, I think the tests they were executed in .NET 6.
Okay. Wait a second, where am I? Okay. Yeah, it's pretty recent here. Okay, maybe we have executed an old DLL and it was working there. But no, it's also here.
But now you changed to .NET 6. But okay, now it's working. Okay, so pipe to request dot to message or something like that. To request and message, or to HTTP request message should be enough. Yeah. Okay, and you can execute that. Okay, it doesn't have such a nice to string overload, but maybe you could or make to request and message. Yeah. That's all. Or maybe you should just inspect. So this is out. So,
I mean, it's here.
Yeah, exactly. It's there. Probably switch back to HTTP request or to HTTP request message, and then assign an assign that to an identifier, and then we can play.
Oh, wait a second. Our test has files here, and we are doing a byte array part. So maybe the request doesn't capture the byte arrays as files. I think that's the reason why the test fails.
Yeah. But I think so. This is the abstraction from Suave, and I think it should not be able to detect. So it should look like files. So we specify a byte array content, but as file. So when we access the files list in line 64, that should be what we pass in there.
But I think there's I don't think Suave handles this correctly, because I mean we are seeing here in the representation in the dump that we are setting the file name, and
but we are not setting content type. We had that before. Could you?
Okay.
Yeah. So after each byte array part, just from line 70 following, after each byte array part, you can line break And then I think a content type is content type, and then make no, it's capitalized in that case. There are some rules for naming, but
and I don't know.
What's the syntax for it?
Text whatever.
Look, so it's usually it's like so because these things that we defined there are content disposition, and I think content type is really something else in HTTP. So this should be mapped here as something else too. But just let me have a look.
Like this.
Which I might
with
right.
some.
I think we should be able to specify that. So some HTTP headers refer not like that. So they really refer to the part, to the content disposition and the part. I just have to figure out which one. I don't have it in mind. Content type for part is the and you specify before the byte array. Okay, maybe we also have to think about exactly. So this goes now into the byte array part, something like that.
Okay.
Maybe you can just for the I don't know overview. So because just make some line breaks, but okay, do as you like it. But maybe this is not such a very good part of the API that it's working like this. But anyway, maybe now repeat the test.
Okay. Nice.
Great.
Let's leave it at that.
Yes. Great. Yeah. Nice work.
All right.
Yeah.
Folks. Thanks. Thanks for the discussion. I really liked the different approaches we took in this session, and kind of showed the the different paths one can take working on such an issue, and the pros and cons, and the needed discussion for the API design which comes with such a change. So thanks everyone. We will go into a break now for a couple of weeks, and we will let you know on all the social media stuff as usual when we are back. Think about some sessions if you like. Submit them to us, get in touch with us, and we will have some nice content in a couple of weeks again. All right. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.